My name's Chad Dunlap. As far as what we're talking about here, I'm the owner of a company called Upshift. I speak on suicide awareness and mental awareness. The two go hand in hand. Everybody thinks that you're just trying to keep somebody from dying, and that's the case in this situation. But my goal is to teach people how to love life enough to where they don't think about taking their own life, right? I mean, if someone loved the life they're living, that thought never comes into play. So the thought's here. Now we need to find out what we need to do to get that person believing in themselves and loving this gift that we call life. I am on the board of mental health recovery services for Allen Glaze and Hardin County. I wanted to join the board to make a difference, right? To help people. And I've in what I do with my speaking, I have a lot of people that reach out to me. I have avenues that if somebody needs help, most typically what people tell me is, Chad, I can't afford it. We have avenues through the Board of Mental Health Recovery Services that we can cover the cost of that therapy. We even have avenues, let's say someone doesn't have proper transportation to get to and from their therapies. I can't tell you that we can take care of everyone, but we are here to help. And that's the main thing, is people feel like they're all alone in this world, that nobody wants to help. That they're the only one going through that situation. Again, this comes back to communicating. If you'll take the effort to reach out to myself or anyone on the board, I can tell you that we're going to do anything and everything that we can to get you to that therapist or that help that you need in a timely manner, because the timeliness is what I hear back from so many people. I've tried to get help. They told me 3 months. When someone is in need of help, they don't need help in 3 months. They need help right now. And it's our job as that person that they were confiding in to ask those questions. Because when we ask those questions, we find out where they're at, where their mind's at. A powerful question that most people are so afraid to ask is, are you thinking about taking your own life? Because when I tell people that, they're like, but what if they say yes? That's a great question. What if they do say yes? You've just made an impact. You could possibly just be saving that person's life. If they say yes, you know what? I understand. Let's go somewhere. There's somebody that I would like for you to talk to, right? Get them that help in that moment. It takes a lot of strength to say, yeah, I'm thinking about that. That's in my mind. That's currently in my thoughts. We have to be reactive in that instance. We live in a world where we don't talk anymore. Our youth are taught to instant message, to text, to email, that communication, there's power in our words, and we don't use them anymore. Let's think that you go talk to a therapist for a reason. You don't text a therapist. You might text a therapist to set a meeting, but there's power in your words, and your words are that tool that we use to get that energy from here out and into words that we can work on and help them figure out what it is we need to do to get to the next step. When we look at fear in its most purest form, it's nothing more than doubt, and I speak on that as well. Our goal is to get them to start doubting their doubts. And then people say, hey, what do you mean by that? Well, if we start talking to ourselves in a positive manner, everything changes. You know that if you work with someone and you throw them a compliment every day, doesn't that change the entire environment of the room? Doesn't that change your relationship? You walk by, hey man, you look great today. Hey, great job on that report that you did. Next thing you know, you're walking by and fist bumping because you're giving positive input into their lives. The same way with the negative part, right? If I tell you, hey, you've done a horrible job, nothing you're doing is successful, I'm not even sure why you're here, you're going to try to avoid me at every step inside that office. You're going to peek out and make sure I'm not out there before you go to the restroom. It's nothing more than using our words to change the aura of that room. Well, change the aura of your life. I want people to start loving who they are, exactly how they are and where they are, because we can grow from there. All of us need growth. But until we start loving and accepting who we are, where we are, we don't have a starting point. We have to start somewhere. And that starts with loving who I am in this moment, realizing that I'm enough and it's time to grow.